Good morning, my beautiful ladies. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, wonderful.
Great. How are my beautiful ladies all over the Caribbean?
Good morning.
Morning, everyone. It's another bright and beautiful day in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. It's now 10:09 Atlantic Standard Time, and I thank God for health and strength for yet another day. So we're here again, Saturday the 12th of June, for yet another wonderful session of the Dream Big Girls Empowerment Program. And I am Simone Claxton, President and founder of the Sophia Miriam Foundation. And as usual, we have with us Mr. Ricardo Mitchell, who is our marketing and public relations manager and the person behind all these wonderful videos you've been seeing on YouTube and all our graphics and branding, etc. So just want to thank him so much for all the work he's been doing. And I want to thank my team in Guyana, Suriname, St. Lucia, Dominica, all over the Caribbean, who's been working tirelessly to make this program a success that it's been so far. And I thank you ladies most of all for joining in every week religiously, really paying attention and soaking up all the information. Thank you so much. So today we have two topics, very special topics, important topics. Money management. We're talking about financial management today and also about goals, setting SMART goals. And these are topics that may not seem very important to us, teenagers. However, once you lay the foundation now as a teenager with respect to your financial management and setting of your goals, the sky won't even be the limit. It'll be way above the sky. All right, guys, so we have with us a very special guest this morning. And I'd like you all to give her all the attention and be as interactive as possible when that time comes. We have with us Miss Heather Alexis-Martin, who is the branch manager at JMMB, Port of Spain. So JMMB Bank will be with us today. We want to just thank them in a very special way for their financial and their, support in every way. They've been backing us for the past few years, and we just want to thank them. They've been a great, great partner. So we have Ms. Martin with us today, who's going to teach you girls a little bit about financial management, saving and budgeting, etc., and set you on the right track. Ms. Martin?
Good morning. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Good morning. Thank you, Sophia Miriam Foundation, for giving JMMB the opportunity once again to reach to such a lovely regional audience. Can't see any faces. I'm only seeing Kalisa. Good morning, Kalisa. So I can say good morning to her. Oh, I'm seeing Shalini. Yes. Are all of you from Trinidad? Yes.
Shalini's from Trinidad. Kalisa is not. We have girls, you can say where you're from. We have Guyana.
Okay. I'd like to see your faces just for a quick moment to see who I'm speaking to if possible. Anybody else want to show their face?
Where's Dorothea? Dorothea is normally very visible. Jade.
I just saw Jade came on and then she left.
We have Rihanna. Rihanna is from Guyana.
Okay.
We have Suriname, Guyana. We have St. Lucia.
Any
ladies from, we have Savannah from Grenada here with us today. Okay. Savannah.
Hi, Savannah. How is Grenada?
Good.
That's where my forefathers are from, the Alexis family.
Okay, nice.
Grenada. Yes. Never been, but hopefully to reach there soon. Good morning, Naya.
Naya, yeah, St. Rose.
Naya. Yes. Good morning. So I'm here. I'm going to try and share my screen. So good morning again, lovely ladies. Thank you again for having JMMB here with us. And please, if at any point in time you need to ask questions, you can ask me any questions. As you know, at JMMB Bank, we're located in Jamaica and Domrep and in Trinidad. So we're regional as well. Soon to go into Guyana, hopefully. So we're working on that. Why do you think it's important to save? Anybody?
In case of emergency.
Yes. I heard emergencies. That's why. That's very true.
Or a rainy day.
Right.
For your future.
Correct. Yes, that's very good. So I
Sustain your future.
sustain your future. Correct. Yes. So some of your last.
Financial security.
Yes, correct. As you're seeing here on the next slide, like you all answered, create wealth, have financial independence in case of
Financial security.
yes, in case of emergencies, you have to look at your wants versus your need and peace of mind. And really and truly in today's environment, it's so important to really pay attention to why you're saving because as you know, we live in some unprecedented times and you really have to save for a rainy day, right? So some of saving, you set your financial goals. So goals are, anyone? You know what your goals are? You know what you want to accomplish. If it's a new book, a new game, it's a new course you might be interested in doing, learning a different language. You could want to learn sign language, which is very important. Learning a different language to cross that barriers because we live regionally and we have a lot of people interacting. We have Venezuela right across throughout the region. And when you're setting your financial goals, you set a deadline and it has to be realistic. And as Simone would have mentioned earlier, it has to be SMART. And I don't know how many know what SMART stands for. Anybody? When somebody says set a SMART goal, besides the name SMART, so to make it very simple for you, SMART, S, it has to be specific. It has to be something you can measure. It has to be accurate. It has to be realistic and it has to have a time frame. So when you break down SMART, that's what, a SMART goal means. You don't want to set a goal to, okay, I'm going to buy a house in 12 months and your budget, you only have like $500 coming in a month. That's not a SMART goal. That's a wish. Or you can win the lotto. But having a SMART goal really helps you on setting a deadline of where you want to reach your financial goals. And you can start small. You can set weekly goals where if it is you get an allowance, you just take out if it's $40 or $20 a week, and then you can go up to our monthly goals and you track your goals for when you reach your goal. If the book is costing, let's say $60 and you reach that, you celebrate. You have a little celebration of, oh yeah, I've reached my goal. And that helps you and encourage you to set bigger goals, right? So how do you create a budget? Well, as I mentioned, you set a financial goal, but really creating a budget is knowing what it is you have to spend every month and really stick to it. So you may have fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are stuff that you do have to pay for every month. And for some of us young ladies, it could be sanitary supplies, your personal products, hygiene products. Those are stuff that you have to buy every month. Your discretionary expenses or stuff that, you could do without, or could be that shoes or a new phone case, going to the movies, going out to eat a burger or a pizza or chicken and chips. Those are stuff we would refer to as discretionary expenses because it's not absolutely necessary. You have to do that every month, but you can put aside some like every 2 months or 3 months just to, or maybe when you reach your goal, reward yourself by doing something like that, right? You subtract your expenses from what it is you're getting. So you subtract all your expenses from your income, and that is how you could know how to implement and adjust your budget. And your budget must have a savings element in it. After you pay for all your necessities, if it is you have to save $20 or $50 a month, it must have a savings element to it. And that's how you really create a budget. And some of the tools you can use, we have the old way, a piece of paper, you get a copybook, you write down your expenses, what you budgeted for, what you actually spent, and you can monitor and see exactly where you went off track. if you know this is not realistic. Maybe, you know, I didn't know the price of something went up. So maybe you might have to tweak it from your savings, or if you realize, hey, if I buy 2 of this month at this price, I could save a little extra next month on my savings. Those are some of the things you could look at if you have it written down in a copybook or a notebook like you have here on this page. Or you have, for your young savvy people, you have the budgeting apps, Rooster Money, you have Piggybot, Allowance Plus, Bankaroo, and BusyKid. So those are some of the tools you could use to see how you're budgeting and how you're spending your money. So we have Kesha at age 11. So Kesha at age 11, what are some of the things that you want to save towards at age 11? Anybody? Have any Keshas out there? 11 to 15? Yes?
I'm currently 18, but I actually started saving at the age of 6.
Right, very good. What made you decide to save at age 6?
Well, I would always get money from family members. Not always, but sometimes if I did well at school.
Right,
And since I wouldn't buy anything, I would just give it to my mother or my grandmother to keep it for me.
correct. That's good. That's a very good habit. Yes, and you could even start at age 6. And that's one thing I was going to mention at this age. You find at this age, it's really hard. I mean, I had a daughter this age, and at this age, what do you buy them besides your cell phone? So sometimes you give them money and, you know, but you have to put aside at least some part of it to budget towards a savings, right? Then we have Kesha at a different age group where she'll be looking towards doing tertiary education or some sort of education after she finishes secondary school. You may be looking at entertainment. You might even be looking towards going towards your first car. But always remember, when you're thinking especially of your first car, even though it may sound nice and they have a lot of promotions where you just can go and buy a car with no down payment, etc., a vehicle comes with expenses, which you must remember: gas, insurance, maintenance. So when you're looking towards these things, know you have to put aside a bigger chunk of your money before you work towards these things, right? At JMMB, we have for this age group what we call a youth account. So you start off with the account with your parent or guardian. There's a minimum opening balance of $25. You can make a small deposit as of $20. So if you're getting an allowance, and you know it's $50 a month, you can put a minimum of $20. You can do standing orders. You can also have a standing order set up. For example, if your parent or guardian wants to give you an allowance, they can set up a standing order to come into your account every month, right? At age 16, though, you get a Visa International Debit Classic card where you pay a one-time fee of $200 to get the card, and there's no monthly maintenance fee on this account. So now a Visa International Debit Classic card allows you to do purchases in stores. You can withdraw monies from ATM. And more excitingly, and most of you would like to know, yes, you can shop online, right? So you can purchase that book or your Kindle or whatever you need to do online. After Kesha graduates, so she's finished all her schooling and she graduates, you can graduate now to what we call our booster savings account, where there's a minimum opening balance of $250, all the other amenities that I mentioned before, but the monthly maintenance fee on this account is at $10. And this is an account that can help you really accommodate, like when you start your first job, your salary can come into here, whatever stipend you may be getting at that time, that can facilitate and build a history with the bank for when you move on to the next step. All in all, having a budget and maintaining your savings. So at this stage, you can even have 2 accounts. You can have this savings account and another account where you want to save for a rainy day. So it wouldn't mess up, like if you go to shop somewhere, you dip into your savings. So you get your stipend, your first salary, you put part of it, a little 10% of it to another account, and that would be your fixed savings account going towards, right? So I'm on my end. So I'm just saying your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits. And a good savings habit is a good action is a savings habit where you can cultivate and reach your goals in a shorter frame of time. Do you have any questions for anybody? Any questions for me? That's it.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Ms. Martin, for those wonderful nuggets of information regarding financial management.
But
I'm sure
everybody have any questions? I know it was short and sweet. I wasn't seeing who I was speaking to, the one who started to save at 6.
that is Cheyenne. Cheyenne is in Suriname. Cheyenne. She's very eager to learn.
Right.
Very vocal.
Hi, Cheyenne. No, Cheyenne hasn't come on as yet.
No, Cheyenne.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm not seeing you.
Cheyenne?
I'm hearing you.
Oh, that's Angeli. Hi, Angeli.
Hey, miss.
Yeah.
Come on, girls. I'm sure you have questions regarding financial management, savings,
Miss, I
etc.
do.
Yes.
Sure.
Mr. Miss, I will also open the bank if if the youth account if we're 18 and over.
The
The
sorry?
youth account. I will also open the youth account if we're 18 and over.
No, from 11. From age 11 to age 18, you can open an account. Then you go over to another regular account once you turn 18.
Okay, Miss, I'm 19, so can I come and still open an account with you guys or no?
Yes, you can.
Okay, Miss.
Yes, you can. Are you working or
No,
in
Miss,
school?
just school. School for now, yeah.
Okay, so what you'll have to get is a letter from your parent or guardian just stating that they will be responsible for funding the account.
Okay, no
Meaning that
problem.
any funds coming in, we know it's coming from your parents and what source it's coming from, which is very important as well. One
Okay,
thing I
miss.
did mention with savings, which I just wanted to mention quickly to you all at this stage, always remember 1 and 1 makes 2. So if somebody comes and tell you, if you give me your $20 in 5 months' time, I'm going to give you $1,000. That's not realistic. And those are different things that you have to be wary about in this environment, right? We do have people that do susus, and that is fine because that susu is built differently as opposed to people who promising you to triple and quadruple your money in a short frame of time. Those things are not realistic. Right? I see Marilyn. Good morning, Marilyn.
Marilyn is one of our partners in Guyana.
Okay.
She's head up an organization there, so she has collaborated with us.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's been doing a great job in keeping the girls, together. We have some older ladies in Guyana as well on the program.
Okay. Right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, hopefully to come to Guyana soon. I don't know how soon, but JMMB.
I'm looking forward for the visit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I would like to encourage all our girls here in Trinidad to go to the banks, talk with your parents and open an account. You need to start to
Yes.
save
Miss,
now. Don't wait.
Miss, from like when we could go into JMMB and open the account?
You can come in. Well, right now we're open from 9 to 3 Monday to Friday. At the Port of Spain branch, we don't take appointments. We do walk-ins. The other branches, because of how they are, one is in a mall, one is in a
Yeah, Miss, I know.
Shabonas. Right. Where are you from?
I'm closer to the one in South Park. I'm from Laramine. I'm closer to the one in South Park.
So that one will take appointments, but we do have online where you can go and take all the forms from our website, and there's an email group that you can email it to, and they will contact you and do a non-face-to-face. So we're really trying to limit the people coming into the bank at this time.
Okay, Miss, no problem.
Yes, not a problem.
Yes, ladies, I'd like to encourage you to go onto the website, have a look at the
Yes.
various bank accounts, talk with your parents, and try to organize that as soon as possible.
Yes, it really helps when you start to build these habits from this age, right?
Natalia is in St. Lucia. She's our partner there.
Oh, hi, Natalia. My husband is from St. Lucia, so I think of myself as a St. Lucian as well, from Choiseul.
Okay. I'm trying to ask a question, but I have two little boys just making all that noise in the background. What I wanted to say, I noticed this is very specific to Trinidad. Do you know of any banks in the other parts of the region that would give some of the services that you're giving? Do you know anything about the other countries?
I can't say for St. Lucia per se, but I know, like I mentioned earlier, we are in Jamaica and Rep. So I really can't say about the other banks in St. Lucia this time. Sorry.
Our girls now is from St. Lucia and the other region is to search and look for the different the credit unions, especially the credit unions. They have special programs for youth at the credit unions, which is a very good place to save. So I would encourage them to go to the credit unions to see what they can find for the youth.
Right.
Because my son is only 5 and he's in there's a Calabash account at one of the credit unions and he's in that he has an account up
Yes,
there.
the credit unions do have different accounts for different age brackets, but I wouldn't be able to speak to that from a place of authority, not being involved in it. But they do have good options as well.
Yes, that is definitely an option, especially for youths. The credit union is a great, yeah. So if you have a credit union
in your area, correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So for the girls in the other islands and territories, please check out if you have like, a credit union or whatever your local banks are, and check and see what type of, savings they're offering and get involved in something.
They have credit union also. The banks, some of the banks them allow the children to bank, but the children, the parents have to okay.
Right. So like that's the same thing. That's the same thing by us for legal purposes and financial guidelines. Child under 18 cannot open an account on their own. So it has to be with the parents, co-parents. Yeah. And if after 18, like the young lady asks, that if she's not working and she still wishes to open an account, we just need a letter from the parents saying that the funds are coming from her. Of course, if she has a job, she'll bring in a job letter and stuff to replace that. But if she's not working, she'll have to get something from her parent or guardian stating that they'll be responsible to fund the account. Yes.
Good morning, guys. Don't qualify as a young lady, but I still do have a question.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm doing some work with the Widows Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and something that has come up a lot is the importance of young ladies and women having their own financial security. I'm not saying that hide your money and that type of thing, but I'm talking about being able to access your own finances without necessarily having to rely on someone else to build and provide this for you. As a woman speaking to these young ladies, could you give them any more personal advice or pertinent advice as to the importance of them seeking their financial interests for their futures?
Sure. And that's very relevant. And this foundation that you all have started will allow these young ladies to have that sort of financial freedom by exactly what you all are doing in having these financial literacy programs to encourage them and to inculcate in them the fact that it's so important to have financial independence at this stage. And like I said, something has to be practiced to become a habit. So with the knowledge that they are getting now and the opportunity they are getting now as compared to years ago when, you weren't aware, you didn't have people coming out and giving these sort of information to women especially. I think that will be something of a myth in the next 20 years where women, I'm hoping it should be a myth where women would not be financial independent, but it really is important to at least try. So one of the things I would say is like, for example, to get a good, the girl who wanted to open the account or the one who was saving, some of the ways to really develop and start a financial relationship with the bank, I would say is like you can take a loan that is fully secured. Meaning that we would give you $5,000 invested and have you pay that back over a period of a time. It's two things being achieved there. You are developing a credit history with the bank for us to see how well you can pay, as well as you're also beefing up your sort of security in terms of the monies that you would have saved. It was a faster turnaround time. So it helps when you do little small initiatives like that. So as you grow with the bank and you grow along your trajectory with your work environment, we would lend you more, and it ends up where we might lend you a little bit more unsecured until eventually you might reach a stage where we will feel comfortable knowing, hey, okay, Simone, we've lent you $5,000 at 19, you save, you paid back, we went up to 20, then 50, then 100. So, and at all along, especially at JMMB, what we do is have financial partnership conversations with our clients to really know where it is they see themselves going. It's not all about, so like I mentioned in the PowerPoint presentation, if you come at 19 and tell me you want to buy a car, and yes, you could probably afford it, and if you're working, let's say, and for some reason, but I'll have to ask you the question, are you aware of the responsibilities that go along with this, and are you prepared for the additional expense that comes with this? So those are the factors that we will always at JMMB try and impress with our clients, really partner with them in their lifelong goals.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. The thing is, these young ladies have different dreams. Some want to be musicians, some want to be vets and doctors, hairdressers, makeup artists. They want to start their own businesses. So the thing is, the idea of, all right, when I reach a certain age, I will magically find money and then just magically start a business. It doesn't happen quite like that. So
no,
I appreciate you even mentioning the fact that there are startup loans and partnerships. So even now, you could start with simple things like a subscription for a course that you want to learn, or saving to start to buy some products so you could start retailing. But just any form of financial literacy and independence from now is an excellent thing to get into. So I want to thank you at JMMB for all the work you guys have been doing.
Not a problem. And as you mentioned, the hairdressers and the nail techs, the people who probably don't get a salaried, you'll have to be disciplined when it is you make that money to pass that money through an account, because that really gives us a true reflection of what your income is. Most people who operate or self-employed, they tend to keep the cash because, I have to buy this, I have to buy this. But the bank would not get a true reflection of what you make. So once you are self-employed or you're going along that route, make sure and pass all your money through the account, even if it's for a day and it has to come back out, for us to get a true reflection of what it is you're earning. So we can assist you when you come to us and say, hey, okay, I want to buy a new hairdryer and it's costing me $2,000 or whatever. And we look in your account and we see no activity. We say you was doing hairdressing, but where the money, right? So those are little things you have to remember, especially as self-employed, those who are looking to go through self-employed.
Thanks very much.
Somebody's raising their hand.
Yes, we have Candace.
Hi, Candace.
Good morning. I'm Candace Ferdinand. I was invited by Mr. Ricardo Mitchell. Thanks for having me this morning. The last statement, Mrs. Martin, that you made, I can testify to that, pertaining to having your income as an entrepreneur pass through your account, whether it be a savings account or a business account, because I am a spa owner myself.
Right.
And to the young listeners, if you could allow me to motivate them from now as well.
Sure.
It is very important to have a tracing of all your finances, because with that record, to get whether it be a loan for a vehicle, for your house, for an additional loan, to open a business, for anything, it's important to have that information and that statement.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Candace. Yes, it is. And we are here to help, to guide you through that process. right? We also have set up a SME unit at JMMB where they will introduce you or allow you such services for if you want to set up your marketing side of the business, if you want to, set up anything, budgeting, they will put you on. So if you're starting off, we are JMMB, and this is throughout the region, Jamaica, Domrep, and Trinidad. We do have specialists that you can come into and talk to, and they can guide you through the process and say, well, okay, well, like how Candice just mentioned, they might put you on to someone who's already in the field to say, listen, this person is interested. Maybe you can give us a little tips or guidance of how you got there or what are the challenges you have had. And as Candice rightfully said, that is one of the biggest challenges you would find self-employed indie people will have. So all of you who want, even if at this age you're doing a little nails for your friends or, your eyelashes or eyebrows, put that money as savings so we can see how you're making the money.
Thanks very much, Ms. Martin and Candice as well. I mean, that point cannot be overemphasized because it's good to know from young, because even us as older adults, sometimes we have a business, a little business, and we just take the money and we put it in pocket and put it in purse. And afterwards, we think we're running a business. And as you say, Ms. Martin, you don't know as the bank that we're running a business. So when we come and we tell you, no, we're making $10,000 a month, we really made $10,000, but you have no clue.
I have no clue.
No, so you cannot help us.
And sometimes even in having a conversation with someone who's doing that, when you really drill down with them and you realize, listen, I'm not making money. You'll be surprised when I talk to some people and, when I say, okay, let's start. I say, but you're not making money. Yes, you're seeing cash in your hand.
Yes.
And you're purchasing X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, you're not making money. Either your price point is very low, that you're not making your expenses, or you're not making even money for yourself. You have to pay yourself. And one thing about being self-employed, at the end of the day, you have to pay yourself. And I go back to budgeting, where you would list all your expenses related to what you're into, if it's nail polish, shampoo, if you're doing hairdressing or a spa, and then you see if you have an excess. After you do all of that, and pay yourself, you're supposed to have an excess, and that's where you know if you're making money.
Yes, that is so true. Sometimes we just see the money coming in, but then that's just
cash.
Yes, it doesn't really cover, when you take off your expenses, etc. Yeah, it doesn't really add up. So we really need to pass it through the bank and keep good records. I think that is the important part. Noting everything that you spend, noting what comes in, and balancing off your books in order to know really if you're making, And we will go into entrepreneurship. That's one of the other topics that we'll be doing later on this month. So that way they'll learn a little bit more about the importance of, keeping their records, etc.
Right. Not a problem. So just remember, we have our SME unit that we can reach out to for any further assistance.
Yes, and that's one of the things that I love about JMMB. They have so much support. You have your resource center.
Yes.
That persons can gain that support and advice from, etc. And I really recommend JMMB. They're very, personal. You don't feel like it's just a bank. They really relate to you. You're part of the family. So girls, I really would encourage the girls in Trinidad to visit the bank with their parents and get everything sorted. And also the girls in the other territories to check out. Because no matter where you are, even if you don't have a JMMB bank in your country, you can save, check out your credit unions or whichever saving institutions you have, and start now. Start to pass your, monies from whatever little jobs that you're doing through your account, even if you have to take it out, as Ms. Martin said, the next day, because sometimes you really need the money. You can't leave it in there.
Yes.
But you need to show the bank, look, I am making X, Y, Z amount of money, even if you're taking it out. And so that when you go to the bank and say, look, I'm making $10,000 a month, I would like a loan, they can look and see. Because only through your records, they can tell. They cannot tell by your word of mouth, right, that you're making money. So that is how it works.
It works, yes. Oh, and one other thing I just want to mention to you all before I go, when you reach that stage to take a loan and, your friend says, can you come on the loan with me? I just need to, as a co-borrower, know that when you take on that responsibility, you are just as responsible for the loan. I know it's not what we had to talk about this morning, but it is something that we have to. It's my granddaughter. Say hi. Yes. So God, I'm talking. Sorry about that. Yes. So she is oh, she just drowned my thought. Yes, so always remember that if you go as a co-borrower, you are as financial as responsible as the other person in yours. And that is something that you have to be aware of, and do not ever take on that sort of commitment or responsibility.
Ms. Martin, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because, you know, sometimes we, you know, trust persons and we said it's a family member and we're going to, you know, co-sign on a loan with them, etc. The person asks you, borrow the money for me, I'll pay it, you know, every month. And when your name's on it, you're responsible.
You are
know?
responsible. I've seen too much horror stories along that line, right?
Yes.
Especially for those young ladies in the age bracket 19, 18, who may be in a little relationship and, you know, they say, boyfriend say, you know, take it for me. You know, as Mr. Mitchell said, we have to have financial independence. Okay?
Yes, yeah, that is so true. So ladies, please be aware of that, because it's something that, you know, we as, you know, older adults fall prey to as well. I would say, yeah, we fall prey as well. Because I mean, I'll give you a personal experience. A lawyer told me a few years ago, with respect to, you know, borrowing money together with, you know, someone. He said, be careful, because he said, I'm in court every day, and he said, marriages don't even last 6-7 years. I see it, you know. So if you're in a marriage and you borrow money and you're ending up in situations and you're not even in a marriage, it's even worse, you know, worse off, you know. So he's trying to, you know, advise me, be careful in borrowing money with persons, because things can go any direction, and when it goes in that direction, then you are left with that responsibility, you know. So it's information to take heed, because at the time sometimes you think, oh, these people don't know what they're talking about, you know, because you're just so caught up in your situation that you do not take the advice. But please, ladies, you know, take that advice, you know, and be careful of who you're borrowing money together with, who you're co-signing a loan for. You know, once you put your name on paper with a loan, you are liable.
Liable, correct.
Yeah, you're liable.
Yeah, I had one experience like that. We had farmer group. It's 5 of us. So they lend us this money, and we used to pay back every month. You have to pay back, say like 13,000, and you know, we continue paying, and one person get red eye, and she left the country. So before that leave back, had to end up paying off what she borrowed.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. It's so true. So ladies, whatever you get involved with, make sure it's something that you can do on your own. You are responsible for it and you can pay it back. But we ourselves as the financial institution, we also have to give that guidance. And many a times we talk to people, and at the end of the day, even if you say yes, I mean, sometimes our hands are tied. We say, okay, listen, you have to sign a letter stating, listen, you're aware of what you're going into, because when it falls down, it's always, nobody ever told me.
Yes.
I didn't understand.
I didn't read the fine print.
I didn't read the fine print.
I didn't see that on the paper.
I didn't know that is what you really meant.
Yes.
Right? So just be careful of anything you sign with anybody on terms of borrowing money. Right?
That's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Young ladies, any more questions? I'm sure you got some questions. Now is the time to ask. Any comments? Anybody wants to share any experience that they may have had, any, you know, with saving or with borrowing, etc.? I'll start calling names, you know. Kalisa, you want to share any experiences you've had?
Alexis was on very early this morning.
Yes.
Yes.
You're here to share experiences, Kalisa. Come on, tell us.
Miss, I never borrow money. Miss, I don't even have money bank account.
You don't have a bank account?
No, Miss, I didn't hardly save hers.
All right. So I guess you'll be heading to the bank to open an account on Monday, please, Delon.
Yes, and feel free to reach out to me. You have my email address. You can share with anyone. Right?
Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. You all are doing a wonderful job. I'm hoping my granddaughter will join in the next, what age they start? 11? You start at 11?
Around 12, 13, but yeah, 11 is...
have a little while. She have a little while.
Have a little while again.
Yes.
All right, that'll be fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, S.M.A.R.T. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, JMMB, for supporting us financially and otherwise in this venture.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Right, guys, so that was a really wonderful session by Miss Heather Alexis-Martin from JMMB. She's the branch manager in Port of Spain. Very wise words, young ladies. Please do not take any of it for granted. This is information that you're getting early in your life. Some of us did not get that information very early and we made a lot of mistakes. So this is to prevent you from making mistakes as well as to help you set, the trend for great things to come. If you set up yourself early with your bank account and your savings, and we're going into SMART goals. So with the SMART goals, it's going to help you set some financial goals as well. Okay. So it's going to put you on the right track for later on when you decide that you want to, buy an apartment, a house, a car, or pay for your education, open a business, etc. Okay.